All right, everybody. Welcome back to Thunder Dan's News, baby. The Rock and Roll Rebel Show is live. We're 100% live. Make sure you send that like out. And we had a good old Texas showdown between Donald J. Trump and Joseph R. Biden. I don't know, the dementia guy who said he had a cognitive test but didn't have a test. And didn't take no questions at the border or nothing. I guess the people are wide awake, and we're going to realize what's going on. You want somebody who, as president, can take questions, answer questions, walk around. You saw the old Biden shuffle down there in Texas, and it's just wild, the two contrasts of the two different people. You got one who can take questions, one who can't. McCarthy came out and was taking heat because they're like, Biden, he's nothing but no card Biden. And then, of course, you had Hunter Biden testify today behind closed doors. Transcripts are just now being released. They got released, I think, at like 8 p.m. People reporting about it. And it's Hunter Biden's just full of lies. Full of lies. I guess he admitted that Biden is the big guy. But not in the sense of the big guy. Just him saying it's the big guy. So none of it makes no sense. We're going to try to break it all down here because that's what we do here. We break down the real news, not the fake news. That Catherine Hedridge, I guess she had a thing pop out too I wanted to get into, but I can't find a lot of information about it. But I guess the judge found her in civil trial guilty, and she's getting an $800 fine until she releases her source from an FBI Chinese scientist, I guess from 2019 or something, 17. I'm not sure on the dates. But that's a real interesting story, how the Department of Justice is shaking her down with $800 fines a day. They want that source. So I'm going to dig in to find out what this Chinese scientist is all about. Of course, she was also into the Hunter Biden laptop. That's what I thought it was about, but I guess there's the Chinese scientist. And, of course, you knew Hunter Biden was all about the Chinese, Burisma, Ukraine. He was getting money, diamonds from Chinese. He was on the Burisma board in Ukraine. Ukraine is corrupt, just as China was paying for politicians. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. 2024 is starting off beautifully. It is a leap day. Welcome to a leap day. I don't understand why we have leap days. I know the old calendar, a long, long time ago, used to have 13 months, and you'd have 28 days in each month. The beginning of the week always started on a Sunday, so that's a little bit of knowledge. Some reason we changed it all, because I guess there was kings, queens. I don't know, Greeks. Who knows? I have no idea. I do have a little bit, but I don't want to get too involved in it. I guess it involves a turtle shell. If you look at a turtle shell, there's 13 outer rings and there's 28 inner rings. But you know what I'm saying? It's just me out here.
Look at this dumb motherfucker.
But it was pretty awesome, though. It was pretty awesome because both the president and the ex-president visited the border in Texas. Of course, Donald Trump went to Eagle Pass, where the crossings were crazy. And then Brownsville, Biden went to Brownsville, where barely nobody goes. But now it's all being shuffled up into Southern California, San Diego area, because Governor Abbott from Texas secured the border pretty much. He put up all the wire, put up all the 18-wheeler freights, double stacked high by the Rio Grande River. So, and Biden didn't take no questions. Biden just scurried around, and he didn't look so good. It's going to be curious how they're going to get Biden out. I think they're going to get Biden out somehow because they're giving him the whole impeachment thing. I think they're going to impeach him. I think the Democrats will impeach him just because of Gaza and Israel and all that. And just like you had today when I guess Israel IDF soldiers opened fire on a raid. Or it wasn't a raid, but it was a food convoy that came through. I don't know if there's United Nations. You know how they come through and they give you food. And then I guess all the Palestinians there that are starving and hungry because they don't have no food because everything has been brought down to the ground like rubble. I guess they started shooting at them. just 110 are dead. I mean, I don't know what's worse, some dude impaling himself, bro, or the way Israel's treating these just regular human beings, bro. I mean, so I don't understand why the United States doesn't put no pressure on Israel. I do know why they don't, but, you know, we got to keep it friendly. But you follow my YouTube page, you know, we got to keep it PG. But on Twitter, we get dark, or X, you know what I'm saying? We get on X. So let's just jump into it, because I don't want to take up too much of your precious time. You know what I'm saying? We in the jungle, baby. Protect yourselves at all times, because the United States government doesn't seem to be. You saw with the Laken Riley. There's other people in Virginia. It seems like there's something jumping off every day with migrants, and this is what they wanted. I guess this is what happens when you don't have birth certificates. When you have birth certificates from Hawaii, you bring in the plants. Joe Biden, I guess, was the chosen one as VP. And then you had the 2020 election, which, I mean, all of a sudden in the middle of the night, there's just a straight up arrow. But let's show Biden first, because I don't want to get too excited out here. You know, I get excited, I get riled up. And I don't want anybody to get riled up. I just want you to take in the news, you know what I'm saying, like a little puppy or a little kitten. And you're like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a Rottweiler or a Doberman just barking at you. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to slowly, just, you know what I'm saying? Just we go get up in there, just give me a little bit of covers. You know what I'm saying, girl? You know what I'm saying? I'm laying in bed with my wife. Just give me a little bit of them covers. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's neither here nor there. But let's play Biden first. He was at the border, and he just wants money for everything. He wants money, but he has his pen. He can do executive order. He can close the border. He can re-put in Trump stuff, Title 42, where the immigrants stay in Mexico and not here. But it's all politics. It's all politics. They want money. So, well, let's see what old Joseph R. Biden has to say. We'll go with him first, because he's the boring one, and he barely completes any sentences. So this should be fun.
I understand my predecessor's an eagle pass today. So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together. You know and I know it's the toughest, most efficient, most effective border security bill this country has ever seen. So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done? Let's remember who the heck we work for. We work for the American people, not the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. We work for the American people. And let's remember who we are. We're the United States of America.
Joe Biden, dementia Joe. Joe Biden works for somebody else. He works for Joe Biden and Joe Biden only, I'll tell you that much. Because if he really cared about border security, he would shut it down. He doesn't care. They're doing this on purpose, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Joe Biden's a buffoon. You know what I'm saying? He's a buffoon.
It's all fake news.
But let's see what Donald Trump had to say. Donald Trump, of course, was also out at the border. And here you can understand him. He doesn't have the little slur, and he don't have ice cream mouth, I guess we're going to call that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to call Joe Biden ice cream mouth.
Reports have come out, and we've been covering them, and everybody's been. And I spoke to the parents of an incredible young lady, and you saw her the other day. You saw what happened the other day in Georgia. And the parents are devastated. They're incredible people. But this is a Joe Biden invasion. This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years. I call him Crooked Joe because he's crooked. He's a terrible president, the worst president our country's ever had. Probably the most incompetent president
I believe it.
We've ever had. But it's allowing thousands and thousands of people to come in from China, Iran, Yemen, the Congo, Syria, and a lot of other nations. Many nations are not very friendly to us. He's transported the entire columns of fighting-aged men, and they're all at a certain age, and you look at them and say, they look like warriors to me. Something's going on that's bad. Now the United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country. It's migrant crime. We call it Biden migrant crime, but that's a little bit long, so we'll just leave it. But every time you hear the term migrant crime, you know where that comes from. Allowing thousands and thousands and actually millions and millions of people to come. Could be 15 million, could be 18 million by the time he gets out of office, because hopefully the biggest risk we have is 9 months. That's a long time. Right. A lot of bad things can happen.
That's 100% true, 100% true. And it'll be curious, too, to see if the Republicans will impeach him. I mean, because there's plenty of ample evidence to get rid of Joe Biden. But for some reason, they don't want to get rid of him. They don't want to get rid of him. But I think they are. I think the media is slowly realizing they cannot have a Trump-Biden rematch, because I don't think they're going to have all the mail-in ballots and all this to be able to get it. I think it's going to be like Reagan-esque. And I guess back in the 1980s, Reagan just rolled. You know what I'm saying? He got rid of all of them. Jimmy Carter, all of them. They were all bums. You saw what they did to Richard Nixon. He was a great president, but they ousted him on some BS. So I guess it's just, and plus the media too, the way the media is going over this whole Trump Supreme Court thing, like, oh, how dare they, presidential immunity. I mean, these people, they are nut jobs. They're nut jobs. Watch this right here. This is Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow, is something wrong with her. I don't understand how she could be so crazy. She went full blown. And like Whoopi Goldberg on The View, if you've seen any of her clips, they've gone full-blown Trump derangement syndrome. It's real. I didn't think it was real, but, I mean, they'll just believe anything. But let's pull up old Rachel Maddow, this lovely hottie right here. You know what I'm saying? I bet you she's a 10. She started an OnlyFans page, bro. She'd be making billions of dollars. Billions.
You know, if you think about the court as the Supreme Court of the United States and a rational actor and a decent one, that was a reasonable supposition, and it just turns out they're not that. Incremental bit of progress here. The important question here is not whether the Supreme Court is going to decide that Donald Trump and all presidents are immune from prosecution for things crimes they committed while they were president. I mean, it would be fully insane for them to actually side with Trump here, right? The conclusion that we can arrive at now based on what they have done without having to wait for the ruling is that they are ensuring that Trump will not face trial. And when they inevitably rule that presidents aren't immune from prosecution after they leave office, what that will tell Donald Trump, if by then he is president, is that he can never leave the office of the presidency. Right. And if he is voted out in 2028, he cannot leave office, and he is willing to he is welcome to commit any crimes he wants to, as long as he is still president, in order to ignore the result of that election and stay in power for life, because otherwise he is going to go to prison when he gets out.
I only got one thing to say about that.
Shut up, bitch!
She's mad, bro. They are mad. I love it, bro. I'm here for all of it. All of it. Oh, and what about this? What about Meek Mill and DJ Academics, baby? Academics is out here tweeting on Twitter, X, and he's going in hard on Meek Mill. And Meek Mill's just been sitting back tweeting for the last 24/7 about the whole Diddy thing. And Meek Mill's talking about how he's going to pull up on Academics and all that. But Meek Mill is soft. He wants to talk about he's from Philly. Meek Mill looks soft, smells soft, I guarantee it. And Diddy was playing with his little bunghole, bro. Diddy was playing with his bunghole. But he don't want to address that. He don't want to address anything about doing that. So, Meek Mill, you're looking horrible on this. Meek Mill, you took the L. All right, without that further ado, because I just wanted to jump in on that because that's wild today. That was going off on Twitter, and I'm a hip-hop head, like a sneaker head, so I listen to it. But, it's mainly rock and roll, baby. It's rock and roll all day and party every night. You know what I'm saying? So let's also get into this. I don't understand. Are they hunting white people, bro? And I saw, like, if you put in, like, white people season or something on, like, social media, you will see people of color attacking white people. It's like a thing. And then the mainstream media is out here doing this. So you got to make sure you protect yourselves at all times because, the left's just breaking down. They're breaking down left and right. And I thought it was crazy that they even had it on a talk show about this right here. This is wild that they would do this. Where are these guys at? I need to find it because they're all, I guess, I don't know what they're trying to do. I guess they want the illegal immigrants in here just killing people. Then they want to talk about mental illness and stuff. But these people are on Morning Joe. If you get up early, I get up early and I occasionally go over there. And if you want a good laugh in the morning, you know what I'm saying? You pour your cup of Joe, your nice coffee, whatever you want to have. You get your Starbies. I don't know what people do, but it's early in the morning. You got a phone if you're driving or whatever you're doing. You put this up and get yourself a good laugh at these people. This is what they're trying to push. I guess they don't understand that nobody doesn't watch the mainstream media no more. They're dead. They're dead. So here we go. Here's Mika. She's married to Morning Joe. She's got some nice heavies, though.
Joining us now, Professor of Political Science at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, Tom Schaller, and journalist and opinion writer Paul Waldman. Their new book, out tomorrow, is entitled White Rural Rage, the Threat to American Democracy. And Tom, we'll start with you. Why are white rural voters a threat to democracy at this point? You would think, as we pointed out, looking at Joe Biden's background and Donald Trump's, that the opposite would be true.
We lay out the fourfold interconnected threat that white rural voters pose to the country. First of all, and we show 30 polls and national studies to demonstrate this, so we provide the receipts in Chapter 6. They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, and anti-gay geodemographic group in the country. Second, they're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism and scientific skepticism, Obama birtherism. Third, anti-democratic sentiments. They don't believe in an independent press, free speech. They're most likely to say the president should be able to act unilaterally without any checks from Congress or the courts or the bureaucracy. They're also the most strongly white nationalist and white Christian nationalists. And fourth, they are most likely to excuse or justify violence as an acceptable alternative to peaceful public discourse.
So you mentioned a lot of negative factors about this demographic. Joining us.
Bruh, what the fuck is that guy talking about, bro? That dude's I know that dude don't. That dude might be hanging out with Meek Mill. He'd be hanging out with Meek Mill. But thank y'all for tuning in, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Rock and Roll Rebel Show. Make sure you like and sub up, baby. Like and sub up. And we out of here, baby. We're going to see you all tomorrow, baby. Tomorrow's Friday. It's payday. So I hope everyone enjoys themselves. And I'm out, baby. I'm gone.